headlines of this hour on VTV News. Vietnam and Laos strengthen economic relations. And EU businesses to expand investment in Vietnam. In our world news, United Nations predicts world economic growth to remain at 2.8% in 2025.
Broadcasting from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam. VTV News starts right now.
Good afternoon. It is 3 p.m. local time and you're watching VTV News. I'm Huyền Trân with the top stories. State President Lương Cường attended the 2025 Spring on the Border Warms the Hearts of the Villagers program in Pathan Commune, Sinh Ho District, Lai Châu Province on Thursday evening. The program, now in its 10th year, has become one of the military's most successful social welfare initiatives. The program provides moral support through various contributions, including gifts of cattle, food packages, rice, traditional bánh chưng, and scholarships. State President Lương Cường commended the border guard officers and their families for supporting ethnic communities in border areas, despite facing many challenges. He called upon the border guard forces and armed units to maintain their unity with local residents to ensure continued peace and prosperity in border regions. Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính met with General Secretary and President of Laos Thongloun Sisoulith on Friday morning in Vientiane-Laos. General Secretary and President of Laos Thongloun Sisoulith warmly welcomed Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính, highlighting the visit's importance as a milestone for the Intergovernmental Committee between the two nations. Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính conveyed greetings and well wishes from Vietnam's top leaders, including Party General Secretary Tô Lâm, State President Lương Cường, National Assembly Chairman Trần Thanh Mẫn, and permanent member of the Party Central Committee's Secretariat Trần Cẩm Tú. During the meeting, both leaders agreed to strengthen cooperation in defense, security, culture, and education. They also focused on boosting economic ties, particularly in finance, infrastructure, transportation, energy, telecommunications, and tourism, aiming to increase bilateral trade to $5 billion. For 95 years, the Communist Party of Vietnam has continually sought to innovate and develop to effectively lead the country and its people. As the nation prepares to enter a new era, the urgency to strengthen the party's leadership and governance has never been more pressing. This is a critical factor in ensuring that the party remains strong enough to guide the nation forward in the coming years.
Vietnam has transformed under the party's leadership into a symbol of peace, stability, and a shining example of development success. However, to break through and accelerate in this new era, the urgent task is to reform the party's leadership methods and enhance its governance capacity.
Party General Secretary Tô Lâm has pointed out that the strategic opportunities are vast, but the timing is crucial. Other nations are also deeply aware of these opportunities and are moving rapidly. If we do not push for greater momentum, we will fail to fulfill the noble mission entrusted to the party by the nation and people.
Party General Secretary Tô Lâm emphasizes the need to adapt the party's leadership methods creatively to meet new circumstances. This calls for a revolutionary streamlining of the organizational structure. Party agencies must evolve into electoral centers that lead with efficiency and precision. With this vision, the party is actively driving reform across 13 central agencies, including party committees.
The Communist Party of Vietnam understands that it represents the entire nation. That is why the party has embraced reforms as part of its strength as a political organization. In the current context, streamlining is essential. The leadership must be made up of elite members, people of exceptional caliber.
To propel the nation forward, the party must be truly strong. This requires the party to be courageous enough to self-adjust and continuously raise its own standards to meet new demands.
We are very excited and optimistic. I believe that with the Party General Secretary's message, we will focus the intellect and efforts of the people, both within and outside the party, all of whom will align with the party's absolute leadership.
Reform is a fundamental necessity for the party's evolution. Through continuous improvement, the party aims to become an increasingly capable and worthy leader, guiding the nation forward.
European Union (EU) businesses plan to expand their investments in Vietnam, focusing on key sectors such as technology, manufacturing, tourism, and renewable energy. This conclusion was drawn from the fourth quarter 2024 Business Confidence Index (BCI) report by the European Chamber of Commerce in Vietnam, which surveyed nearly 200 EU businesses. The report highlights Vietnam's strategic role as a regional investment hub. Many businesses are considering partnerships with Vietnamese manufacturers or service providers, while others intend to enhance trade activities or shift production to Vietnam to leverage trade advantages. Foreign investors recorded unprecedented net selling of over $3.5 billion on the Vietnamese stock market last year. And this outflow stemmed from three main factors: the interest rate gap between the US dollars and Vietnam dong, large funds redirecting capital to the higher-yielding US market, and shifting investor sentiment in frontier markets. This trend of net foreign outflows mirrors trends seen across global stock markets.
The net selling of more than 3.5 billion USD marks Vietnam's highest recorded outflow. However, this figure remains relatively modest compared to other global markets. Looking ahead, significant potential exists for foreign capital to return, driven by several favorable factors.
We are very optimistic about the outlook for the Vietnamese stock market in 2025, as macroeconomic factors are aligning favorably. Corporate profits on the stock market are also expected to grow by 23.2% in 2025. Based on profitability and valuation factors, we are confident that foreign capital will return.
According to experts, with the U.S. Federal Reserve expected to slow down its interest rate hikes compared to previous forecasts, large foreign capital inflows may not occur until mid-2025, rather than the gradual inflows seen so far.
The Fed's rate cut outlook has diminished, meaning the Fed's interest rates are likely to continue rising. The pressure on exchange rates will persist for at least another 6 months. However, after 6 months, if Vietnam maintains GDP growth and the expected market upgrade happens in September, we anticipate a return of FDI and foreign indirect investment.
Currently, foreign trading volumes account for less than 10% of the total market turnover. For many seasoned foreign investors, the future of the Vietnamese stock market lies with domestic institutional investors.
The key to the market's future lies in developing domestic institutional investors, particularly through creating a network of supplementary pension funds or encouraging more life insurance companies to participate in capital markets.
According to Phie Elite Fund, strong profit growth among listed companies will drive Vietnam's stock market in the coming years. With continuing growth trends and positive profit forecasts for 2025, the fund expects Vietnam's stock market PE ratio to reach an attractive 10.1 times for long-term investments.
Now, according to the latest data from the State Bank of Vietnam's Ho Chi Minh City branch, remittances to the city saw impressive growth last year, reaching $9.6 billion. And this is roughly $140 million higher than in 2023. Over the past 3 years, remittances to Ho Chi Minh City have consistently increased, accounting for 55% of the nation's total remittances. Statistics reveal that funds from Asia remain dominant, making up nearly 54%, up 24% year-on-year. Meanwhile, remittances from Oceania rose by 20% and by 4.4% from the Americas, but those from Europe declined by 19.1%. Previously, the Ho Chi Minh City People's Committee approved a policy framework to maximize the effectiveness of remittance resources in the city through 2030. And this initiative aims not only to attract remittances, but also to channel these funds into effective investment avenues, contributing to the city's sustainable development. Entering 2025, Vietnam is gearing up for economic development by achieving important digital transformation goals. According to Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh, digital transformation is vital to keeping pace with developed nations and is also a top priority for Vietnam's rapid and sustainable development. Therefore, Resolution 57 prioritizes unlocking the potential of data and also putting data science to work in building a big data system as the foundation of the country's digital transformation.
As more localities connect to the National Population Database, an increasing number of citizens can now register births, permanent residence, and health insurance in only 30 minutes.
Now, everything can be done at the local People's Committee, which I find more convenient and time-saving.
The National Population Database gathers basic information about all Vietnamese citizens. Therefore, the system will underpin the Vietnamese government's ability to accelerate digital transformation with innovative governance.
VNeID allows the integration of all citizens' personal documents on a digital platform. People can use this app to access online public services.
Vietnam is aiming to build a data center to facilitate digital data storage. Data transformation is a critical process that refines and converts raw data into a usable format. Therefore, the government has prioritized the development of digital technologies such as the Internet of Things and artificial intelligence.
The Vietnamese government should develop a plan for national data development, including data processing, storage, and utilization.
Resolution 57 prioritizes the development of digital data interconnection and data sharing and the establishment of an international data exchange system. As data sovereignty is crucial for national security, Vietnam should build a sustainable cybersecurity industry.
Vietnam plans to develop a data economy, including a data marketplace and exchange platforms. In addition to building data storage centers and strengthening its cybersecurity, Vietnam has implemented strategies to develop AI based on big data to facilitate digital transformation in key industries.
And before we move on to other important updates, let's take a look at the foreign exchange rates of today, January 10th. Coming up next on VTV News. Sharp temperature drops across the northern region of Vietnam. And Hanoi among top 10 destinations for Lunar New Year. You're watching VTV News Live. A strong cold front has brought significantly colder temperatures to the northern region of Vietnam as of Friday. The cold air mass will intensify, triggering severe cold conditions in northern provinces and Thanh Hóa. Severe cold has already gripped the northern Midland and mountainous areas and will spread to other parts of the region and Thanh Hóa by Friday night. This cold spell will last 3 days through Sunday, and most areas will experience temperatures between 9 to 12 degrees Celsius, while mountainous regions will see temperatures of 6 to 9 degrees Celsius. The central provinces from Nghệ An to Huế will experience lows of 10 to 17 degrees Celsius. Areas from Hà Tĩnh to Bình Định can expect scattered rains and some heavy downpours. Efforts to complete the demolition of temporary and dilapidated homes before the Lunar New Year 2025. The city aims to complete 100 houses within 30 days, an ambitious goal that is part of a broader initiative to ensure residents can enjoy a joyful and fulfilling Tet holiday.
This is the state of Nguyễn Văn Hoa's house in Long Hoa Commune, Cần Giờ District, Ho Chi Minh City.
When it rains, the tin roof leaks and the water drips everywhere. I don't have regular income to fix it.
Hoa's house is one of 250 temporary dilapidated houses in the area and one of 50 in Cần Giờ District, set to be completed before date. Trần Thị Tuyết Hạnh, another resident, only requested a roof replacement since her house leaked so badly it was like being outside when it rained. To her surprise, she received a complete home renovation.
I'm so happy. Everyone keeps saying I'll have a happy Tết this year. As long as my house is fixed, I'm thrilled.
Since many of the residents are elderly and lack assistance, the local authorities and the Vietnam Fatherland Front coordinated additional support to complete the repairs, ensuring families could celebrate Tết in their newly renovated, more comfortable homes.
The Vietnam Fatherland Front of Ho Chi Minh City has set an ambitious goal to bring similar joy to 100 more families within 1 month. By April 30, 2025, they plan to remove and replace more than 323 dilapidated houses.
20 days before Tet, the ship departed the port without knowing when it would return to shore. And this has been the duty of Marine soldiers every Lunar New Year. Before the mission, each ship is stocked with peach blossoms, kumquat trees, and bánh chưng to bring the festive Tet atmosphere throughout their voyage.
26 ships have departed simultaneously for patrol, search, and rescue duty during the 2025 Lunar New Year. The soldiers maintain their unwavering spirit of readiness to face any challenges.
It's my first time being away from home during Tet, but thanks to the support of my comrades, I feel more secure and will do my best to complete my assigned tasks.
We are all fully prepared and ready to be on duty at sea during Tet. We will do our best to complete the task.
Soldiers carry peach and kumquat trees, fruit trays, chung cakes, and pork during their voyage. These items symbolize the sharing, encouragement, and trust from the mainland.
Special units, especially ships on duty at sea, have done a good job of preparing equipment to help soldiers feel secure in performing their duties.
Despite the bad weather affecting many coastal areas across the country, the Marine soldiers remain in high spirits and prioritize their mission above all else.
Hanoi ranks 7th among the top 10 most fascinating destinations for Lunar New Year 2025, according to travel website Booking.com. And as Vietnam's cultural and historical heart, the city offers countless captivating attractions. During Lunar New Year, Hanoi transforms with festive decorations and hosts vibrant cultural events, promising visitors an unforgettable experience. Booking.com recommends guided walking tours to explore iconic landmarks like the One-Pillar Pagoda, Ho Chi Minh Mausoleum, Temple of Literature, Vietnam's first national university, and the Thăng Long Imperial Citadel. The Southwest region's development has left behind numerous historical works and cultural architecture that bear the marks of its riverine people. In Cái Bè district of Tiền Giang province lies an ancient village that stands as both a source of local pride and a prominent destination on Vietnam's tourism map, thanks to its ancient houses.
As a daughter-in-law who joined the family in her 20s, Mạnh has been connected to this house for over 50 years. Built in 1850, the house has maintained its elegant beauty for 170 years, blending Asian and European architectural styles while preserving the characteristics of the ancient southern region. This legacy has become a source of pride that her children and grandchildren work to preserve and protect.
Foreigners often ask how much this house is worth and whether it can be given to someone else. But my family firmly says no, because it is very important to us.
Dong Hua Hiep Ancient Village was recognized as a national monument by the Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism in 2017. The 200-year-old Ong Kiet House features a traditional three-room design. Its pillars and beams, crafted from precious wood, showcase intricate carvings with patterns and motifs characteristic of Southern Vietnamese culture. Kiet's ancient house received restoration funding from JICA, Japan, and was awarded UNESCO's Asia-Pacific Heritage Award for Cultural Heritage Conservation.
My children and I are still passionate about keeping this house. This house is very beautiful. Why don't we preserve it? We should be proud of it.
Dong Hua Hiep Village, along with Đường Lâm and Phuoc Tích villages, was selected by the Vietnam National Administration of Tourism and JICA for a project promoting sustainable development. This initiative serves as a crucial foundation for heritage preservation in the modern era.
This weekend, more than 3,000 Vietnam Trail Marathon athletes from 42 countries will compete on the beautiful trails of Mộc Châu, Sơn La. The athletes will contest 3 distant races, 70, 42, and 21 kilometers. The finish line for all routes is the heart-shaped T-hill in Mộc Châu Farm. The selected routes are among the most popular in Mộc Châu, all boasting beautiful natural scenery. Coming up next in our world news. United Nations predicts world economic growth to remain at 2.8% in 2025. And Los Angeles wildfires devour thousands of homes, even as fierce winds ease. Now moving on to our world news, global economic growth is projected to remain at 2.8% in 2025, unchanged from 2024, according to a United Nations report released on Thursday. East Asia is forecast to grow by 4.7% in 2025, driven by China's projected stable growth of 4.8%, supported by robust private consumption across the region. The report said U.S. growth was expected to moderate from 2.8% last year to 1.9% in 2025 as the labor market softens and consumer spending slows. Europe is projected to slow modest recovery, with GDP growth increasing from 0.9% in 2024 to 1.3% in 2025. Now, despite continued expansion, the global economy is expected to grow at a slower pace than the pre-pandemic period's average of 3.2%. Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi pledged Beijing's full support and military aid for Africa on Thursday as he concluded his African tour in Nigeria. He announced $136 million in military assistance and plans to train 6,000 troops and 1,000 police officers across the continent. China will also support the development of the African Standby Force and Rapid Response Forces and assist African countries with counter-terrorism and peacekeeping operations. Wang's visit, which began January 6, included stops in Namibia, the Republic of Congo, and Chad, before concluding in Nigeria's capital, Abuja. This visit continues a 35-year tradition of Chinese foreign ministers choosing Africa as their first overseas destination of the year. Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen has requested talks with U.S. President-elect Donald Trump following his escalating remarks about taking control of Greenland. According to Frederiksen, Trump has not yet responded to the request. While Denmark is willing to discuss U.S. interests in the Arctic, the Prime Minister emphasized that Greenland belongs to the Greenlanders. On January 7th, Trump declared he would not rule out military intervention to bring both the Panama Canal and Greenland under U.S. control. Greenland, an autonomous territory of Denmark located in the Arctic, is known for its deposits of rare minerals. Wildfires continue to rage across Southern California, killing at least 10 people and forcing more than 200,000 residents to flee as flames engulf swaths of Los Angeles. The disaster has left more than 400,000 homes and businesses without power throughout California. More to follow.
Devastating wildfires are engulfing Los Angeles suburbs. The blazes, which began on January 7th, continue to spread rapidly across the region. The fires have already consumed approximately 10,000 hectares, forcing more than 200,000 residents to evacuate.
This firestorm is the big one in magnitude. Hurricane-force winds are usually accompanied by rainstorms, but these are hurricane-force winds that are combined with extremely dry drought conditions.
This is what was left of the fire that swept across the Pacific Coast Highway, one of California's main roads. The flames burned almost everything in their path, all the way to the ocean. More than 1,000 structures were destroyed by the fire. Several hospitals in the affected area were also evacuated, with emergency rooms already overwhelmed by flu patients. U.S. President Joe Biden said federal authorities were sending aid to help fight the blaze, including 10 Navy helicopters. Fire crews from Oregon, Washington, Arizona, and elsewhere also arrived in Los Angeles to support the city.
And as usual, let's move on to the weather forecast. And that's all the news we have for this hour. To rewatch our program, you can download our mobile app VTVgo or check out our YouTube channel VTV4Go. Thank you for watching and see you next time.